All right, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week, well, we're messing with the Triton again. Like I said, I wouldn't. But before we get into today's video, if you're new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell icon right next to that. That way you get notified every time I upload. That way you don't miss any of this awesome cycling content on this channel. So like I said, today we're messing with the Triton. So this is the Poseidon Triton. Essentially Poseidon's road bike. They just came out with this back in October. And it's a great bike. I actually really like how it feels. And today we're gonna experiment with something and see what we can make work. So essentially I have a brand new set of tires here, the Kenda Crushers, that aren't even released yet. And I want to run them on something. The problem is these are a 700 by 40. And if you know, I like running 650 on my gravel bikes. So the Redwood back here, that's set up with 650B wheels. So I don't have a 700C wheel to put on there. And I don't necessarily feel like buying a set of wheels just to run 700C on that bike. So, we're looking at a Triton here. So, some of you remember, like, what the freak are you doing? putting big old gravel tires on a road bike. Okay. Poseidon says this bike is set for those who are getting gravel curious. This bike has clearance for up to a 740 on the front, and it says a 700 by 37 on the rear. And it varies tires and wheels. We're going to see if we can fit these. They're both 700 by 40s. So the front, not concerned. Front should fit, according to them, should be able to make a 40 fit on the front. The rear is where my potential problem comes in, is the rear. So this bike currently has a 700 by 28 on here on just the original wheels. And, you know, my first thought was, okay, let's pull the tire off and we'll put one of these on and see if it fits that way. That's a lot of work. A lot of work, especially when they're tubeless. It's just a lot of work because there's sealing in here. I just redid the sealing like a month or two ago, so there's sealing in here. So I was trying to think of other ways I might be able to figure something out to see if it will even come close. And I realized I actually have a set of wheels here. These are a 650B, but these are a 650B by 45. However, that should tell me if I'm going to be close or not without actually taking the tire off. These are actually the original wheels off of the Redwood here. I never actually cleaned them, did I? You're dirty. Anyways, so they should have the same spacing and everything should be the same. I should be able to put air in this and just kind of boop in place of that. We should be able to tell whether this is a horrible idea or this idea is actually going to work. Sound good? I think so. I think that sounds pretty good. So if we can get away with this, cool. I think we can go bigger. I think we can then move on to swapping the full tire out. But we'll see how far we get. Let me put some air in here. We'll move on from there. So I'll show you guys really quick here. So we do have a decent bit of clearance. With set of calipers, it says I have 50 mil. It's a 50 millimeters of clearance between these two. So 40 millimeter tire should work. And then I mean, same thing down there. You can see. Got a decent clearance down there. It's actually got a little more down there is what it shows on the calipers. So we're going to see how this goes. See what we got here. So let's pull this wheel off, and we'll try and throw this 650 on and see how it fits. I mean, look at that thing. I think it's like a big old sidewall. 650. Wow. Okay. So, I mean, look, it's got clearance. It's got a hair of clearance. Same thing down there. When you spin the wheel, these little, where are they? These little hairs right on the outside. Those hit. But that actually clears. I think we actually have a chance of this working. All right, don't get me wrong. I'm having bad ideas right now. Mullet setup on the road bike. 700 on the front, 650B on the rear. So you could actually run a 650B on the Triton if you wanted to and fit a 45 mil tire on there. Wow. At least on the rear, yeah, you should have no problem on the front. The front's got plenty of clearance. That's pretty cool. I gotta say, it's pretty cool. I think we have a solid chance of it actually fitting. So let's pull the road tire off and we'll stick a 40 on there and see what we can make happen here. I think we have a solid shot of it fitting. All right, we got her seated on. Doesn't look near as wide as you would think, honestly. I mean, that might work. That's quite a bit narrower than this one, I feel like. Okay, so there it is. That's a big old tire on there. And it does clear the frame right there. It rubs the frame. Just barely rubs the frame. So honestly, at this point, it comes down to how committed am I to making 40s fit on this bike. That is a tight fit is the problem. That was a super tight fit in there. The problem is you ping your wheel wrong once and you're going to have big problems. I think we got it. I don't hear it rubbing anymore. Okay. You doing the front now too? I think so. I'm kind of pumped. That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm a little pumped on this. All right. I'm going to swap the front one out too. Make sure that one fits now too. Then we can come add sealant to these and I think we're good. That is definitely the biggest tire you could fit on this thing. It is a 40 millimeter wide 700C. You want to go 650, you can run a 650 by 45. We saw that. But for 700, 40 max. Max. You ain't running anything bigger than that. No shot. There's no room. Okay. Let's do the front now. Swap the tires out, make a mess again, and then if everything fits, I think we'll be good. All right, so we got them both installed, so I thought I'd show you clearances. So everything is set at 40 PSI right now. The fork actually has like clearance for days, man. You could probably run a 45 up front if you really wanted to. And then the rear I kind of showed you guys. So I mean so the rear has plenty clearance there. Plenty, keyword. It does rub on the little furry things. The little furry things that come off the new tread. Those barely buzz on the front derailleur where this cable is. Right there. Just barely buzzes on there. Everything else though, there's a little tiny whoop in the rear wheel that we got out. And now it doesn't rub. Got everything seated. Dude, look at that thing. I'm excited. This is pretty sick right now. So, what the heck? I think we're doing this road bike thing wrong because we just switched some 28 millimeter smooth tires for some 40 millimeter gravel tires, and they fit. Is the weird part. That's not even weird. That's the crazy part. Is they fit and they fit good. Like what? Whatever sick, twisted genius at Poseidon said, hey, let's make it so our road bike can fit 40 millimeter wide tires on here. I like them. They're pretty cool. Wow. That changed the look. I think it's pretty cool looking. I like it. These are the Kenda Crushers that we put on here. They're a tire, they're not even, you can't buy them yet. So they're a tire I'm testing out for Kenda. And they're essentially the kind of like the Alluvium, but with a smooth center tread down the middle. So it actually makes this bike a pretty decent candidate for them. And yeah, man, like right up in there. All right. So if you're ever curious what you can fit on a Poseidon Triton, you can fit up to a 40 millimeter wide on the front and the rear. Obviously, it's going to depend on your tire and wheels. So these are the original wheels that come on the Triton. And obviously the Crushers, they're not a super aggressive, meaty tire. So if you're running some with some knobs on it, probably not going to fit. Just being real, probably not going to fit. These are a good mix kind of for everybody. You know, for what most people use their gravel bikes for, most people want to use their road bikes for, is kind of road riding, but then still gravel at the same time. So this is going to be fun. All right, so there you go. Kind of a random one. That's cool. That's cool. So stay tuned. I will let you guys know. I will let you guys know an update on this, of course. Of course, on how the heck this makes the bike feel. Coming from, you know, a road bike with some massive meats on it now. And then, of course, to get a review on the Kenda Crushers too, because I want to know how those ride too. So this is going to be sick. If you guys are interested in checking out Kenda's tires, going to be a link in the description. Same thing with Poseidon Triton. Link in the description as well. You can ride as a road bike, you can ride as a gravel bike. Awesome guys at both Kenda and Poseidon. Check them out. If you guys enjoyed the video or maybe you learned something today, give this video a big thumbs up. Appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Love talking to you guys. Love answering questions you guys have. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.